to my YouTube channel. So I made this beautiful Ankara patch umbrella dress out of my scrap fabrics. So this is how it all began. At the beginning of this year, I cleaned out my sewing room and I had lots of scrap fabrics, you know. Trust me, there's so much you can do out of scrap fabrics. There's so much money you can make out of something that is supposed or would likely be thrown away. So I sat down, guys. This took time though. Sorted out the fabrics and brought out what seems tangible and what goes with words to make this dress. So I cut up the different Ankara fabrics into squares, which was 9 inches in width and 8 inches in length, just as you can see me marking out there. So here is one square, and I used that one square to cut several other squares. Now guys, these Ankara fabrics have been in my bag for the whole year, if not for 2 years. Some of it were really squashed, squeezed and rumpled. So I first of all had to iron the Ankara fabrics. Yes, the scrap fabrics, I had to iron it out so there'll be no, you know, excess fabric bulging in somewhere while I lay my squares or rectangles rather. Yeah, rectangles to cut. So when you're making Ankara patchwork, you have to bear in mind that the several scrap fabrics you have in your stash might be of different Ankara qualities. Some of these Ankaras run colors, some of them are of better quality, more cotton feel to them. So I made sure I selected Ankara fabrics of similar quality and also fabrics that do not run color. Good quality Ankara. So my dress obviously would be of good quality as well. So these are the rectangles I could come up with, and I still have a lot of leftover or scrap fabrics here. So I'm going to stitch these rectangles up and see how much fabric, yardish rather, I can get out of this. Then if it isn't enough, I'll come back and make some more. So we've come to the fun part, the sewing part. If you're one of those who enjoy sewing more than cutting, please let me know in the comment section. Sewing is fun, right? So what I was doing earlier on was pinning each one together so that I can start sewing. And I have pinned up here about 2 yards long. I have 2 yards long here. So I'm going to start joining. Start joining it now. So I've joined up some rectangles, as you can see, and I use 0.5 inch sewing allowance to do the joining. So I'm going to head now to the ironing board to iron the seams open. So what I have here is a total of 2 yards in width. 2 yards in width. I'm just going to fold this up now and use my tape to confirm that this is exactly 2 yards. So it's a little over 2 yards. So I'm going to make up some more 2 yards just like this, which means I'm going to be joining each row widthwise, not lengthwise. So I've gotten another 2 yards in width. So I'll just keep going like that until I'm out of squares to join. So now I'm on the ironing board to iron the 0.5 inch sewing allowance we use to join each square or rectangle, rather each rectangle to the other. You guys forgive me, I keep saying square. These things are actually a rectangle, not a square, so pardon me. So when you hear square, actually mean rectangle. However, it's the patch, right? I'm joining the patch to each other. Okay, so I'm going to iron each of the seams like that open. I'm using a dry heat iron, so I'm sprinkling a bit of water just to create that steam effect. So in total, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which has just been joined, and I just want to see how much more I would need to join so that I don't join beyond what I need for the project, because I don't have that time. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open up 2 and then taking the right side of the other, we're going to lay it on, and we're going to go to the machine and we're going to join it up. So here I'm using pins to first join the rolls together before I head to the sewing machine to sew. Is what we have. This is 2 yards in length. That's 1 yard and 2 yards. 2 yards in width, but in length it's a bit short. Will be 34 inches in length. 34 inches in length. So this is a bit short to cut with the kind of flea dress that I would want. So I'm going to go ahead and make this again. So that would now give me 68 inches in length. Then we will now head to cutting our flea dress. Look how beautiful it looks. Look at that. So the deed has been done. Now I have 2 yards and 68 inches. So I'm going to use this to cut my flare or umbrella dress. Look at that. Look how long it is. Guys, this is patience. To do this, you need to be passionate about recycling and reusing your scrap fabrics. It takes time. So we're going to start by rolling a straight line. This line will represent the center front. You just want to cut out the yoke part. The flare is going to be beginning before or after the yoke. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to rule a line. So we're going to place the 8 inches mark on the line we just rolled out, which was just randomly done, while the straight line here will represent the center front, which will be placed on fold, right? So our yoke is going to be 8 inches long. So I'm going to mark 8 inches in length. Then using my ruler, I'm going to rule that out. So the line I'm rolling out now is the shoulder line. Right, so this is the shoulder line, and then this is the yoke length. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the shoulder width. The shoulder width is 16 divided into 2, since it's placed on fold, is 8. Also, the neck circumference, I'm going to make it 3 by 4. 3 by 4, and using my curved ruler, I'm going to make the curve of the neck. Alright, and then I'm also going to slant the shoulder by 1 inch. And then next I'm going to do is I'm going to make my armhole. My arm side depth is 8 inches. 8 inches. So I'm going to make the armhole now. So I'll square that out in an L shape. And then using my curved ruler, I'm going to make the curve of the armhole. Alright, that's the curve of the armhole, about 1 inch from the middle of the armhole is 1 inch into the body. Okay, so our yoke, the chest is about 9.2. The chest is about 9.2 after dividing into 4. So the chest is, I think, 37 or 38. Divided into 4 is 9.2. So I'm going to mark 9.2, and then I'll add a little ease of 0.25, which brings it to 9.5, and then a 1 inch sewing allowance right there. Okay, now from the armhole, I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch, and from that 1 inch mark, I'm going to be making a curve, bringing this back to the 8 inches mark, which is our so coming back like so into a curve, just like that. So I'm going to be cutting this out, and then I would use this as a guide to cut the back yoke. Try to cut the back. So I still have a straight line here, which represents the center back. So I'll just put the front pattern right there, and I will roll the shoulder line forward. Okay, after doing that, I would mark 1 inch down from the shoulder line so we can make the neck hole for the back. 1 inch down, and then using my curved ruler, I'll make a curve. Okay, so the back yoke is high, as you can see. Having done this, I will leave my pattern on here and I will cut. And the back. So I use pins there to hold it in place so it doesn't move while I'm working. And this is the center back. So I'm going to add 1 inch for zip. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be using as my yoke. That's the back yoke, and this is the front yoke that will be placed on fold. So this is the fabric. I'm going to be using the floor because I don't have a very wide table to do this, so I beg your pardon. So here I folded the fabric into 2, and I just want to straighten the edge. So this is the fabric, and we said center front will be placed on fold. So this is where I have the fold here. So I'm just going to place
coming from the corner here. I'm going to be marking 40 inches all around. I might be out of frame, pardon me. Okay, so let me go closer so you can see what I've done here. So that's the yoke there that has been connected, and from the tip of the square here I marked 40 inches down. You can see the mark there, and I took it all around 40 inches down till I got to the edge there, right? Then using a ruler I connected from here, you can see the line down to the curve there. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut, but while cutting I'm going to add half an inch sewing allowance at the neck, the shoulder, the armhole. Don't forget we had already added 1 inch there on the side while making the yoke. So I'll cut now. So there it is. This is what it looks like after cutting.
So the back and the front have been cut. We cut the back exactly the same way as the front. I should note that the back has a zip allowance of 1 inch. That's a 1 inch zip allowance that runs all the way down. And I also should note that I ran out of fabric while cutting, so I had to join. You can see my pins there. You can see pins. I had to join fabric. You can see pins there holding it, so that I can have a length that runs straight down. Okay, and that is that. To take care of the yoke part, I'm just tracing out the parts that the yoke covers, where the yoke is supposed to end, so I can take out my pattern. I'm now going to cut, but I'm going to cut leaving behind half an inch allowance to join. We're going to be using for the yoke. So I'm going to be lining with this blue cotton, which I cut exactly the same way as our flea. Exactly the same way. The only difference is that I've shortened the hem by 1.5 inch. So this is the front right here. I'm going to go ahead and cut the back, which will also be exactly the same way as the back flea. This is the back and the lining piece for the back. So we're getting ready to sew. What I'm doing right here is pinning my yoke to the Ankara fabric, right side to right side, and then I place the cotton lining over the yoke, and I'm also going to pin it. This is to sandwich the yoke in between the Ankara and the lining, such that when we're done sewing, you won't see the seam joining the yoke to the rest of the dress. Flipping this over, you can see the yoke right there. That's our yoke stuck in between the Ankara and the cotton lining. This side is the lining and this side is the Ankara. So flipping it over, where we have the pins there, we'll head to the machine, and using 0.5 inch, we're going to join it just like so to the other end. Yeah. So this is the front. That's the neck. I have piped the neck and I have sewn this neatly, and that's the lining in there. Used it to sandwich. This is one side of the back. I've done the same thing. I've piped the neck and sewn this as well. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to join the side seams. So I'm going to pin. That's the other side of the back. So far so good. This is what our dress is looking like. This is the back. So guys, I'm not going to lie, this project was abandoned for a while because I had orders that was bringing in the money, so I had paused on this. And then along the line, I saw this Ankara fabric, already made patched Ankara fabric in the market, and I bought it for a totally different project. So when I got back to completing this project, I thought, why not? Why don't I use this fabric I got, part of it, to make the sleeve of the dress? So yeah, here I am cutting the sleeve for my flared dress out of an already made Ankara patch fabric I got from the market. So I'm doing a short sleeve of about 8 inches in length. It's a basic sleeve actually, and I just did this freehand, guys. If you would want to know how to cut a sleeve freehand, please let me know in the comment section and I would make a tutorial. It's pretty fast, pretty easy, and the fit was great, you know. So let me know in the comment section if you want to see a tutorial on how to make a basic sleeve cut freehand. So this is our sleeves, the left and the right hand. So I'll head to my machine now and fix my sleeve. This is the finished dress. So I installed my sleeve and also installed a zipper at the back. This video has gotten long, and thank you for watching to the end. So this is how gorgeous and stunning my dress looks. It's awesome for the summer weather, awesome for Nigerian weather, and really vibrant and colorful. The fit was awesome, guys. You should try this and let me know how it went when you do. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share this video with people who might love to make a dress like this. Thanks guys, and God bless you.